We're here for 5 questions with Ring of Honor's Cedric Alexander. Cedric, you were trained at the Rings Wrestling Academy in Charlotte, North Carolina. My first question, what is the best lesson or your favorite lesson that George South ever taught you?
I could say that those are his weird analogies that he likes to use, or that he loves giving everyone, and that he trains a nickname, which I love that, but I guess I don't know. That's not the same thing. Best lesson. Work smarter, not harder, which I don't learn. I don't learn the lesson very well. I work too hard, not smart enough. So.
Your style is very explosive. It's very dynamic. It's very high impact.
Oh, thank you.
And I'm sure you have been told by a lot of the veterans to slow down.
Yes.
To everything. Is there something that stands out that you feel like is the craziest thing you've ever done in a match, that, or the next morning hurt the most just outrageous, crazy? Maybe you regretted it the next morning, maybe you didn't, but the one, like if you had a one highlight reel, maybe one moment, one big dive, one big spectacular move, do you have one that jumps out above the others?
Yes, I did this one move at a fair show in I think it was Monroe, North Carolina. I wanted to do a 450 so bad. I was like, oh, I gotta do a 450. 450, yes. So I did a 450, totally missed the guy, and face planted, and busted my nose up pretty bad. It's probably the craziest thing I've ever done, and ever since that, I've never tried a move that I never knew I couldn't do. 450 was definitely horrible. Never do it.
When you got into wrestling, a lot of us here in the Carolinas said, you know, this is a guy that could go to Ring of Honor. This is a guy that could be in the X Division. What were your goals getting into wrestling as a high flyer, a hard hitter? Like, where did you want to go? Who did you want to be like?
I was a big AJ Styles fan, watching wrestling. So I wanted to be like AJ Styles. Like everything I did, I wanted to be just like him. But like, I didn't have really a set goal when I started wrestling. Just my idea was be good at it and hopefully make some money at it. That was about as far as I thought it through. But yeah, when I first made the conscious decision to be a wrestler, I was watching guys like Chris Sabin, Christopher Daniels, AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, and I was like, I want to be those guys. And I've been told numerous times that God, you wrestle like Chris Sabin sometimes, or you wrestle like Shelton Benjamin, which I think that's a thing. But yeah, that's all I wanted to be like.
Well, you made it to Ring of Honor. That's where a lot of people are going to know you best from right now, people outside the Carolinas especially. Been in a tag team for over a year now with Caprice Coleman, a longtime Carolinas guy. How big a help and an influence and a mentor has Caprice Coleman been to you in the past year and a half or so? He's
been huge. Whereas before I started teaming with Caprice, or even knew him, I was horrible with personality. I had no personality at all. I'm even still to this day working on trying to bring it out more, but being with Caprice helped me find myself as a wrestler, get me more comfortable in the ring, come in front of a camera like I am right now, and come in front of a crowd and just being myself. Whereas before I'm so uptight and, oh, if I don't this move right, these fans won't like me. Whereas it's not really about that. I can just be myself and just wrestle the best way I know I can.
Last question. You've been in Ring of Honor for a while now. Going to put you on the spot, but we're going to limit it, so hopefully nobody's feelings get hurt.
I'm going to get killed now.
You've not just wrestled in the Carolinas. You've gone all the way to California, PWG, and pretty much traveled the country. Ring of Honor officials come to you. They say, Cedric, give us 5 guys that you've encountered on the indies that we should take a look at. From the Carolinas, from Georgia, Virginia, anywhere that you've traveled to. Who are the 5 guys that if Ring of Honor officials came to you, you would say, these are the 5 guys you need to take a look at right now that are not on your radar?
That are not on the radar? Man. I've always thought Chiva Kid or Andrew Everett was one of those guys that, to me, he was like Pac before Pac got really jacked up and huge. So I think he's one of those guys. This is tough. It's really tough. Trevor Lee, who I always thought was one of those guys. He is one of those heels where it's super goofy, but it's not overly goofy, you know. And to me, that's That's what Ring of Honor needs. It's someone you can absolutely hate, no matter how good he really is. Because Trevor Lee's really good, but you can still hate him because he's just a dick. Wait, can I say that? Okay, he's a dick. All right. But the two? I only got two? That's it? I think it's more people. Ethan Case. He's a guy that I met like 3 years ago, who I always thought was good, and only met him maybe 4 or 5 times after that. And I just never thought he got, the respect he deserved. But he's one of those guys that's good, but maybe his look probably held him back some. Man, you got me thinking. Only three people. Okay. I'm being biased when I say this, but Caleb Conley. He's been there before, but I think, like I said before, he's one of those guys that's really, really good, but he just never got that recognition. Like, he's been on pay-per-view, he's been on a couple TV spots, but I feel like he's better than a lot of guys on the indies could ever be. So the fact he's not up there is killing me. And this is going to be a tough one. Marcellus King, because I being biased again, I just love Marcellus. I don't know why he's not anywhere right now. He's too good to not be somewhere.
Well, we thank you very much. This has been 5 Questions with Cedric Alexander. You can watch him on Ring of Honor TV, and you can see matches from his CWF Mid-Atlantic body of work at ondemand.cwf247.com.